Since the teaser trailer was released a while back and Zagreus being introduced, you and I have been wondering the same thing. If there was actually anyone in Indie Cross Episode 3 who could beat V1. Sure, most of these characters look strong, but if you really break it down, no. Unless Mora pulls a fast one, today I'm going to be explaining how this man-made religion soloing machine can solo every character in Indie Cross Episode 3. Before going into the enemies of Episode 3 of Indie Cross that V1 can solo, we first actually have to verify him being actually powerful and deserving of all the hype he gets. V1 is a perfect machine created to destroy the machines that technically could have wiped out humanity fairly easily. As the perfect killing machine, you can regenerate health from the blood of your enemies. You have a wide range of weapons, although some of the alternatives are not going to be included in the show. Some of your most notable feats are fighting said machines that wiped out humanity, though you actually killed these things from the inside, which isn't as impressive, a skyscraper-tall living corpse, and a biblical leviathan. Now is a good time to say that nothing in Ultra Kill should canonically be compared to the Bible, it's just fancy wording on my part. Speaking of biblical, you beat the most powerful angel in heaven named Gabriel, twice, legions of his wannabes, and 2 prime souls that had the capability of destroying heaven, but our buddy Gabriel here just cut out the middleman and went to destroy the corrupt politicians of heaven, who for how powerful they've been glazing themselves up to be, were assassinated by Gabriel quite easily. And no, we're not done, but I'll try to keep this quick. You canonically murdered the Minotaur, Geryon, and a technically better version of yourself since it was built after you. And the 2 hardest boss fights that will probably add to V1's power scaling still haven't been revealed yet. And his full arsenal also still hasn't been revealed yet because of that damn yellow hand that for some reason did not come out in fraud. So that would be V1, the individual to solo the rogues next episode. Let's start off easy. The only attacks this yellow robot have seen to have is this petrification ray and this tiny black hole in the teaser. We've seen V1 easily dodge black holes before, even if Akita doesn't want us to use it for power scaling, and this one is extremely small compared to the one Minos summoned, so this should be pretty easy. I'd say even half the reason she has that attack is because Mora wanted it in the fight with V1 for that specific power scaling reference. We don't know about her durability, but it can be well assumed that she's a bit more durable than base Game Master and Godot, which once again shouldn't be too hard if these two can take Game Master. Now, for her petrification attack, the thing she's marketed for, possibly the only thing she's useful for, yeah, our little fast machine could just dodge it. It wouldn't be the first time someone dodges that attack, but if she just starts spamming it with no cooldown, then she might have a good shot. But I don't think that's gonna happen. It'd be kinda stupid to have one of the most powerful attacks in the show have no cooldown. So she can't be that durable, as it can well be assumed that she isn't much durable than base Game Master or Godot. Really people, I shouldn't have to explain why V1 beats, doesn't have a weapon to put her power through, and she definitely isn't fast. She only has a cheap attack that could work if she spams it enough. And as for the little guy, the only attack we've seen him have is immobilization and shrinking. So yeah guys, this is about to be a real short flashback next episode. I really don't think he can do much of anything, and all he's been shown to do in episode 2 is support powers, and I'm pretty sure it's said somewhere that all the rogues can heal each other. I am talking about every character in episode 3, so we also have to talk about the people in the subplot, or main plot, I don't know. The general consensus about Hades and Ultra Kill is Ultra Kill gameplay is faster and harder, meaning V1 is stronger. Now, I'm not gonna settle for that. The Zagreus we see is holding a shield, so let's go off of that. Zagreus is okayly fast, but not fast enough to keep up with V1, but probably stronger due to his feats with the gods. But his shield is a pitiful weapon to be striking with. It has 0 range and is mostly used for blocking, throwing, and charging, and the last 2 things V1 can most likely parry. It is stated that Zagreus does have the boons of his gods, but most of them don't help with his issues, speed and ranged attacks. So yeah, if V1 just keeps falling back while spraying, this shouldn't be too hard. That's if he doesn't have a select few casts and boons. I'm pretty sure Mora won't have Zagreus with all the boons and casts, but a few of these would be bad for V1, like homing arrows, lightning strikes, and ice crystals. In fact, Zagreus can have 12 boons active, all giving him effects like dash boosts, lightning, and thorns. Thorns would be really bad for V1. In fact, Zagreus has a parrying boon, possibly even more broken than V1's, as he can spam it more efficiently, which would actually be very funny to see V1 deal with. We're definitely not going to see this fight because V1 isn't just going to casually fight everyone on the Indie roster, but for my final verdict, V1 beats Zagreus even when he has some boons and an awful cast, but once Zagreus gets his hand on something like a lightning strike that his enemies can't dodge, V1 has a lot less of a chance. Episode 1 Charlotte was probably the strongest character in the show, or at least intended to be shown to be. Now that would be a fight worthy of V1. The Charlotte we have currently is a Game Master LARPer, and Game Master is like the second to weakest rogue. I don't imagine absorbing Game Master would give her much of a power boost, probably just his sizing attacks, chains, the ability to access portals again, and gears. Even adding onto the drone army, V1 is still taking this one home, and that was upscaling her. Downscaling her, a locked-in beheaded is giving her a run for her money. She probably got an intelligence decrease too, as Moro said she would take on many Game Master-like qualities, like being smug, stupid, unreactive, and too reactive, so yeah, this would be a slam dunk for V1. Before we go forward, if you're enjoying this video so far, please consider subscribing, because it would help me beat my washed up friend, and if you did, you would get some pretty good video essays on some pretty peak media like Indie if I do say so myself, like Indie from Frisk's POV and everything we know about episode 3. Back to the video. Look, if Game Master Charlotte is shrugging off this character, then this would probably be an insect under V1's foot. Plus, if this mystery character does turn out to be strong, V1 is still probably stronger because then Moro would have had them fight the rogues instead of V1. Because remember, LARPer Charlotte is not stronger than the rogues, so the fact that they're put against a weaker group means they're definitely intended to be weaker. One prevalent theory I've seen circulating among fans is Doctor from Cape's story, and it's not my homework to play video games on a what if, so basically, he has an average human striking strength and durability, and he's supposed to be hypersonically fast, but I took one look at his gameplay and hell no, this guy is an insect under V1's foot. I mean, come on bro, how are you even gonna set eyes on Charlotte with base human striking strength? Almost forgot about this one. I don't have to do any weird power scaling justifications for this one. Shovel Knight struggled against Charlotte's drones, and V1's first appearance was holding one of the main antagonists dead in his hands. And no, we are not taking Kratos beating Shovel Knight into this. Just Indie Shovel Knight, who happens to be struggling in a battle against Cuphead. This is one of the two main people I'm worrying about in episode 3, because unlike Zagreus having a conditional win, one of these characters might actually be able to kill V1. Let's go with the poster boy of all of the test animations, UNITHOR. UNITHOR has a big hammer for close range and projectiles plus a sniper rifle for long range. He has to be the second strongest rogue to even be the leader of the bunch. His hammer was seen to be smelting the terrain of a whole entire planet here, so let's just assume getting hit by this attack is game over. It is a pretty dodgeable attack though, as Drifter was able to evade it. He does have a few ranged attacks like a sniper rifle and a few glowing crystals from last episode, but those shouldn't do that much damage, and we are talking about V1 here, so he's just gonna dodge all of them. He is pretty fast though, fast enough to keep up with V1 as shown by his intro scene. He can also freely fly, which is gonna be a problem for our grounded friend. I'd like to imagine V1 is faster, but if he lets his guard down, he could be struck by that hammer. Now, we don't know about his durability, which could make or break this fight. He's been shown to have 55 million overheat capacity, which is when the rogues become vulnerable. Now, a 55 million is double Game Master's, which is a 26 million. And you have to remember the whole wombo combo they did to Game Master just to kill him. So I don't really see V1 winning this. It's gonna be an entertaining fight, sure, but nobody's gonna die here. It will be a long time before V1 overheats him and breaks that outer shell, and he has to play a perfect dodging game with all the projectiles to get there. I mean, I guess V1 can still heal from him, but that would imply getting close, which is extremely dangerous. But if the stars align, if V1 plays a perfect game, then he does have the chance of killing this rogue. Whatever over-glorified V1 in your head that solos massive beings, he is not winning this one. There is just no flipping way. Unreal has the durability and strength of destroying the dense core of a planet. A planet, dude. And he's their main reality smelter, so they've already done this to countless worlds. So he's basically invincible to V1. Speed-wise, we've already been shown that V1 is not fast enough to evade its charge, and we already know for a fact that Unreal stepping on V1 would kill him. And even on the off chance V1 can parry him, having that as a win condition just wouldn't be feasible. Unreal is probably massively more durable than he is strong, and other big characters in Ultra Kill don't even take half their health's worth of damage from a parried attack that they put all their force into. V1 is not winning TS. It's literally stated by Moro that he's an unstoppable object. So yeah, in conclusion, V1 whips everybody's butts in this episode except for a select few who under certain conditions could beat V1, and then there's UNITHOR where V1 could beat him, and then there's Unreal who just stomps him out. But something I will stand by until I die is Frisk is stronger than V1. You cannot convince me that infinite retries, infinite attack potency, and deny invincibility can't put the machine 6 feet under. If you want me to continue to justify the not at all controversial claim that Frisk destroys V1 for 5 minutes, watch this video right here. And if you want to see the utter stupidity that is Indie from the Hollow Knight's POV, click this video right here. And thank you so much for this Discord user, Abhiker Gaming, for basically co-creating this script. Trust me with your subscription.